Direct observations of teachers and classrooms and classroom settings show me that many classrooms end with a teacher simply reminding students to do their work, to check on an assignment that has already been posted, or to complete an assignment that began quite a while ago. In short, teachers end a lesson by reminding students that there's more work to do. Now, while this is certainly very positive, why not focus on the true point of education, which is to show the practical application of what it is that you are teaching? For instance, if you are trying to get students to learn fonts or learn font complications, rather than telling them that you would like them to look over the chapter in the book on font combinations or proper font usage, perhaps something a little more hands-on, such as throughout the next week you'll want to be posting pictures of materials where multiple fonts are used and they are combining properly together, or suggest some fonts that may be used well together. Are you a professional talker? Are you a professional reminder? Are you a professional assignment giver? Or are you a professional educator? If you are a professional educator, give students a way to educate themselves. Give students a way to use the education that you have given them practically. And I don't mean practically like, let's solve some problems on page 42. I mean practically in the manner of, use this in your everyday life. One aspect of this which will appear in your classroom is occasionally a teacher who is afraid to answer questions. And you know these individuals, they are ones who are underprepared for their lessons. Now, can everyone be prepared every time for every single lesson? Not always, and especially not when the lessons that you are working on are new technology, new software, small changes. Perhaps someone is asking a question about a small side note or a tertiary concern related to what you're teaching. Now, there are many different reactions to this, specifically that many teachers will begin by giving a small unrelated answer and then trying to move on, or possibly trying to cover up their lack of knowledge. But I would urge you, rather than trying to look like you know everything, which no one can, if you find yourself in a spot where someone asks a question and they don't know the answer, why not go ahead and admit that? You don't have to say, I don't know, and as a side note, I am a terrible teacher. You don't have to run off somewhere after the class and have yourself a little pity party about how unknowledgeable you are. But you can begin by saying, I'm not exactly familiar with that. What is your thought? And sometimes the student, like a lawyer, will know the answer to the question before they ask it. It could be that they're trying to show off, or it could be that maybe they are trying to urge the class to start talking in a different manner or more fully about subjects. But it never hurts to be honest. Honesty is always important, even if the answer is, I don't know. But a good solution to that can be very clear, which is, I don't know the answer to that, but I tell you what, I will look after class today and I'll see if I can get an answer for you for next class. And most people will accept that hands down across the board. There's no reason why every person should know every answer to every fact every single time. While you may not always have to have confidence, I urge you to have confidence in yourself and your abilities. If you find yourself in one of these systems or problems, Shake it off. Be honest. Move on. A teacher with a confident, positive self-attitude and outlook on the class will lead to students who are positive, confident in their abilities, and confident in their ability to practically apply the information that you've given them. A positive teacher leads to a positive classroom. When you keep a positive self-image in the classroom, you increase your performance. Students begin to look forward to your class every day. Students begin to feel positive about what you're teaching and the way you're teaching it. They begin to respect you more. They begin to look to your work more, and they begin to look to your classes more often than before. To apply this knowledge today, work on developing a healthy attitude about you, your teaching style, and your teaching ability. There are many ways that you can do this. Here are 2 action steps that you can take to apply this knowledge today. Number 1, go ahead and dress the part. Now, what is the part, you ask? And that's a great thing to consider. Think about yourself, your personal attitude, your relationship with the students, and, of course, the field of study in which you teach. What is the proper dress? Do you need to wear something like a shirt and a tie because you are in a business industry? Do you need to wear a blazer when you come to class? Do you need to wear a vest and a bow tie? Good God, please don't have to wear a vest and a bow tie. Do you have to wear a jacket with pads on the elbows? Do you have a particular school uniform that you need to wear? Do you wear a golf shirt? Do you wear jeans? Do you wear t-shirts? Do you dress like you are an authority in the field, or do you dress like you're just another person with knowledge so that your students will always feel that they are able to approach you and to get that personal feedback that they need? Take that on point. You may be someone who has to keep your shoes shined and wear a tie clip every day, or you may be the kind of person that always matches their shoes with their purse in alignment with the dress. You know, some people do that anyway. Let me try that again. You may be someone who makes sure that your pantsuit is always perfect every single day, or you may be the kind of teacher who comes in with penny loafers and jeans, a t-shirt, and an occasional sweater. But make sure that whatever it is that you wear, it reflects you, your teaching style, and most of all, your industry. Tip number 2, and this one may be harder for you to do, but it may be one in which you are already 80% down the road, is to become an expert in your chosen field. Now, as you know as an educator, being an expert does not mean that you know the knowledge of today. It means you know the knowledge of today. It means you know the knowledge of yesterday. It means you know what caused the knowledge of yesterday to come into existence, and you know the cause of what caused the knowledge from yesterday to change into the knowledge of today. And if that wasn't enough, you are aware of what the knowledge of tomorrow will bring. Now, you don't have to know 5 years in advance, 10 years in advance, 20 years in advance, but you do want to know theories about what's to come. You do want to know what other people think is going to come. You do want to know what kind of combinations of ideas might make that a reality. Unfortunately for educators, it means a life of constant learning, constant understanding, constantly discussing with industry professionals, and constantly being on top of your particular subject. Now, if that doesn't sound like a negative, but it does sound like a positive, you're in the right industry, and that's great. But don't just worry about the knowledge that you are teaching. Worry about the ways in which you are teaching. Have a look at some of the leaders in the field, especially the leaders in the field of the education that you are teaching. How are they doing it? Are they using serious games? Are they using lecture only? Is there a hands-on component? Is there something that you can learn from the best teachers out there in order to have in order to have some practical application that the students can learn? Is there something that you can do that's being done in the field right now in an effort to be the very best that you can be? As you look at these new technologies, as you look at these new ways of doing your craft, as you look at new ways of teaching, practice them over and over and over until they become part of you, until they become part of your knowledge base and become part of your methods within the classroom. As time goes on, you'll find that they gel seamlessly with your manners, and you will become better and better. Part of maintaining a good, positive attitude is to know what you're doing. To put this into practice today, look over these 2 action points. Are you dressing the part? And what is the part? Do your students feel that they can approach you with questions or problems that they have? And if so, excellent. Is there more that you can do? If they're not feeling like they can approach you, go ahead and have some kind of a system by which you can find out what might be putting them off. A second portion of today is to go ahead and consider something that is happening in the field. Is there an industry person that you can commit to contacting, say this month, or perhaps 2 or 3 times a year to find out what's happening in the industry and make sure that you are showing the newest materials possible? If possible, find out something you're not doing well. Use this as a benchmarking exercise. Find someone who's doing what you're not doing well. Find out someone who's doing it much better than you. And when you find out what they're doing and how it's going to apply to you in your classroom, seek out others in the field who are doing it and see if there's a way that is becoming a constant find in the industry, or a new method that is being used over and over and over again, but perhaps not at your school. And once you've found out what that is, ask for some advice about how you can integrate that within your system. This is a great way within many colleges to seek out grant funding, to seek out grants, and to find ways that you and your program can move ahead. While you may be thinking to yourself, I really love teaching and I don't want to do anything but teach ever, ever, ever again, just understand that your school doesn't work on teaching alone. There are many grants and special projects which come moving through most colleges. And if you aren't aware of grants and special projects that are moving through your college, your division, your department, or through you, this could be a good time to examine those. Remember, starting on the future today means you just might get there. That really seemed a lot more positive in my mind. Anyways, take these plans today. Try contacting some people in the field, maybe who do your job better than you or the same, and find out what they're doing that you're not. Please subscribe so you can see all of our new material as it comes out. I urge you to comment below. Please blow up that like button, and as always, design your future.